Okay, it's time to make a complete shameless mockery of this level. First things first, we're not supposed to be able to enter the front door here because it's members only.
Hey, slow down, buddy.
But we can just walk right inside. Secondly, we can just walk past this second bouncer, and although he does get suspicious of us, he won't chase us. Thirdly, we're just gonna go ahead and walk right into Mr. Terrence's room.
Hold it. This is a restricted area.
Yeah, it's restricted, but they're not gonna stop us. So, now that we're in Mr. Terrence's private hallway, or whatever you'd like to call it, we simply need to wait for him to enter the bathhouse, where we can assassinate him. Now, it's easy to figure the game just must be broken, because it let me run straight into this secure building, and straight into my assassination target's room, without any hassle whatsoever. Just kinda dashed right in here, but that's not a glitch or an exploit or anything of the sort. The artificial intelligence seems to be intentionally that relaxed. So that way, you know, you can actually beat the game without having to change clothes a single time. And that's kind of a neat feature, but the downside is that it makes levels like this one, where the guards are a lot less suspicious than in other levels, a piece of cake, because you can just run right up to your targets. To the game's credit though, if we just tried to approach Terrence dressed like this, then his bodyguard would freak out and shoot us. And his bodyguard absolutely sticks to him like glue, so we need to take out the bodyguard first if we want to get rid of Terrence. Right now though, we're simply waiting for Terrence to get up and enter the bathing area, because that's the easiest place to kill him, and his bodyguard. If we miss this opportunity, then we'll have to wait a very long time for another one. Because Terrence's bodyguard follows him into the bathing area, you might think this would be exceptionally difficult, but sometimes your brain makes things out to be way harder than they are. For example, here's a perfect chance to shoot the bodyguard in the back of the head. Now, Terrence is the only one that saw that, and Terrence is in that room by himself. Normally, he's supposed to run straight over to the body and examine it, but for some reason his AI went in the other room. So I'm gonna go bother him for a bit. And now he'll go run to check the body.
Okay.
Which is what he should have done in the first place. But now that he's checking on the body, we have the perfect opportunity to strangle him. And no one but us saw that. We're gonna go ahead and dump the bodies into the bath, because not only does this hide them, but it's kind of hilarious. You might wonder, why didn't I take the guard's clothing? You know, so that way it would be easier to get through the rest of the level? That's because we're going to beat this level without changing clothing once. Mr. Terrence is dead, but now we need to get to Mr. Capello, and Mr. Capello is in an even more restricted area of the club. But we don't need to use any special strategies to get inside. We just need to run really fast. Past this bouncer, past the next bouncer, and then past a room full of bouncers. And then there's a little breather in this room. And we come out to a big pool. There's a single guard in here that will eventually shoot us if we hang around him too long, but we can run right behind his back and he won't notice us. And just like that, we wind up in Mr. Capello's private shower room. And we shoot him in the back of the head. Yep, that's it. Both men are dead. We're gonna hide his body in the other room, even though it's not really necessary. But that's it. We've killed both our targets, and I didn't need to change clothes a single time. Now, the AI, as I said, seems to be intentionally this, bizarrely comically stupid. If the guard were still out here, we would need to strangle him, but since he seems to have gone upstairs, we're going to grab the briefcase. And now all we need to do is make our way out. And we're going to make our way out the same way we made our way in, by running really fast. As long as we keep moving, no one should stare at us long enough for us to actually get into any trouble. We should just be able to make our way straight to the exit. And this place is kind of like a maze, but I've memorized the layout, so we don't have to worry about that part. You know, I actually figured out the solution to this level, or rather my personal solution, by complete accident. I just wanted to see how far they would let me run without stopping me, and it turns out all the way. All the way is the answer. And what you get is what just happened here. This is probably the fastest I'm going to complete any of the levels, but the next level is actually very difficult for me, so that should even things out a bit, right? Anyway, we're done now, so I'll see you guys next time.
Agent Pearson?
Well, it's been a long time, Semyon. Let me introduce you to the rest of the group. Attention, everyone. I'd like everyone to meet the newest member of our team, Agent Semyon Alekhine. We go a long way back. Please welcome him. Over here. These are our 4 researchers. All of them have only recently joined the CIA, but they're reliable. Peggy, Wesley, Henry, and Ivan.
Ivan?
Don't worry, he's not a Russian spy. That's Thomas Nelson. He's an incredibly talented translator, and he also makes a great cup of coffee.
I'm the best there is.
At translating or making coffee?
Coffee, of course. Would you like a cup?
In a bit, Nelson, after we get some things out of the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. We're about to enter the active phase of our operation. We'll be acting boldly and quickly. Now, the research team will be analyzing the contents of that briefcase. Now, Shaw and Capello are minor players, but let's see if there's any chatter about them. Now, we know that the conspirators are working on several fronts simultaneously. If we're going to go after any of them, we're going to need to go after them all at once. Like the Hydra's heads.
Not quite like Hydra's heads, but I see your point.
I suppose you're right. Anyway, here's what you need to focus on next. Alejandro Vargas. He first came to the attention of the CIA in the late 50s. We put pressure on him before, and he was able to give us some minorly useful information. But now Vargas undoubtedly is playing a more significant role. Similar to Capello, he meets regularly with a known conspirator. The meetings are typically held at his biker club in Texas.
What's the plan?
Grab Vargas and bring him back here for interrogation.
You know I can interrogate him on site.
I don't doubt that for a second, my friend. But he's more valuable to us here. Besides, we don't want to make it too easy. And one more thing. There was a reporter looking into Vargas who has suddenly gone missing. He must have stumbled onto something. See if you can determine his whereabouts while there.
Whatever he had on Vargas ought to be useful to us. I'll see what I can do. But I'm not bringing him back here, too.